Chiron tried to sound upbeat, but I could tell he was anxious. I didn't want to freak him out anymore, but I thought about last night's dream, and before I could change my mind, I said, "Hey, Chiron, can I ask you a favor while I'm gone?"
"Of course, my boy."
"Be right back, guys." I nodded towards the woods. Chiron raised an eyebrow, but he followed me out of earshot. "Last night," I said, "I dreamed about Luke and Kronos." I told him the details. The news seemed to weigh on his shoulders.
"I feared this," Chiron said. "Against my father, Kronos, we would stand no chance in a fight."
Chiron rarely called Kronos his father. I mean, we all knew it was true. Everybody in Greek world, god, monster, titan, was related to one or another somehow. But it wasn't exactly something Chiron liked to brag about. "Oh, my dad is the all-powerful evil titan lord who wants to destroy Western civilization. I want to be just like him when I grow up." "Do you know what he meant by a bargain?" I asked.
"I'm not sure, but I fear they seek to make a deal with Daedalus. If the old inventor is truly alive, if he has not been driven insane by millennia in the Labyrinth, well, Kronos can find ways to twist anyone to his will."
"Not anyone," I promised. Chiron managed to smile.
"No, perhaps not anyone. But, Percy, you must beware. I have worried for some time that Kronos may be looking for Daedalus for a different reason, not just passage to the maze."
"What else would he want?"
"Something Annabeth and I were discussing. Do you remember what you told me about your first trip to the Princess Andromeda, the first time you saw the golden coffin?"
I nodded. "Luke was talking about raising Kronos. Little pieces of him appearing in the coffin every time someone new joined his cause."
"And what did Luke say would do when Kronos had risen completely?"
A chill went down my spine. "He said they would make Kronos a new body worthy of the forges of Hephaestus."
"Indeed," Chiron said. "Daedalus was the world's greatest inventor. He created the Labyrinth. But much more. Automatons, thinking machines. What if Kronos wishes Daedalus to make him a new form?"
That was a real pleasant thought. "We've got to get to Daedalus first," I said, "and convince him not to." Chiron stared off into the trees.
"One other thing I do not understand. This talk of a last soul joining their cause does not bode well."
I kept my mouth shut, but I felt guilty. I made the decision not to tell Chiron about Nico being son of Hades. The mention of souls, though? What if Kronos knew about Nico? What if he managed to turn him evil? It was almost enough to make me want to tell Chiron, but I didn't. For one thing, I wasn't sure Chiron could do anything about it. I had to find Nico myself. I had to explain things to him, make him listen. "I don't know," I said at last. "But, something Juniper said, maybe you should hear." I told him about how the tree nymph had seen Quintus poking around the rocks. Chiron's jaw tightened.
"That does not surprise me."
"It doesn't, sir? You mean you knew?"
"Percy, when Quintus showed up at camp offering his services, well, I would have been a fool not to be suspicious."
"Then why did you let him in?"
"Because sometimes it's better to have someone you mistrust close to you, so that you can keep an eye on him. He may be just what he says, a half-blood in search of a home. Clearly he has done nothing openly that would make me question his loyalty, but believe me, I will keep an eye." Annabeth trudged over, probably curious about why we were taking so long.
"Percy, you ready?" I nodded. My hand slipped into my pocket where I kept the ice whistle that Quintus had given me. I looked over and saw Quintus watching me carefully. He raised his hand in farewell. "Our spies report success," Luke had said. The same day we decided to send a quest, Luke had known about it.
"Take care," Chiron told us, "and good hunting."
"You too," I said. We walked over to the rocks where Tyson and Grover were waiting. I stared at the crack between the boulders, the entrance that was about to swallow us. "Well," Grover said nervously, "goodbye, sunshine." "Hello, rocks," Tyson agreed, and together, the four of us descended into the darkness.
Chapter 6.
We meet the god with two faces. We made it 100 feet before we were hopelessly lost. The tunnel looked nothing like the one Annabeth and I had stumbled into before. Now it was round like a sewer, constructed of red rock and iron-barred portholes every 10 feet. I shined a light through one in the portholes just out of curiosity, but I couldn't see anything. It opened into infinite darkness. I thought I heard voices on the other side, but it may have just been the cold wind. Annabeth tried her best to guide us. She had this idea that we should stick to the left wall.